My name, of course, is ASMR with Rudy, and today I have a very special video, and that is because I have with me a game of Monopoly, but it's none like you've ever seen, for it is Lord of the Rings edition. Monopoly. Fast dealing property trading game. Lord of the Rings edition. And I wanted to share this with you guys. So I've had this for about a year, if I'm not wrong, and I love playing it. It's one of my favorite, if not probably my most favorite version of Monopoly that exists, and I feel very lucky to have this version. Not that it's like some rare thing to get; it's available out there to purchase, but it is uh, it's there's several versions, but I think this is the best one there is. Not only because it's very cool, and I'll be walking you through it as well, but I just think it's very fun to play this. Plus, typical Monopoly itself lasts around anywhere from like 3 to 4 5 hours, even if you're playing an intense game of Monopoly, that is. you know because the stakes get take a lot of time to get really high. And this one, however, this can be finished in under an hour, even in half an hour, this version of Monopoly, because the stakes are already extremely high. So without further ado, let's open it up and let me show you what it has. All right. Okay. So before anything else, I wanted to talk about the fact that I wanted to say, rather, not talk about. I wanted to actually film a video of me playing it, like kind of having one playing for you, like you're the player and I'm playing, but I'm playing on behalf of you in a way. Like I'm gonna be kind of going to have to imagine what move you'd make, and I would play like that. But it was just very confusing to figure out how to film that. Like I don't know how to set up a overhead camera, and I don't really have the equipment to do so. So when I figure out how to film it in a way that kind of looks good, and in a way that's what do you call it, easy to kind of see, or get a good view of, or at least most of everything that's happening. So yeah, until that time that I figured it out, I cannot film something like that. So I thought, let me just break it down and show what it has, and maybe in the future when I figure out that, I can make a video. So anyway, let me first show you. This is the official rule book, and it has some basic rules that you need to understand and play the game. But all you need to know is that that I know the rules. I'll go through the rules perhaps another time, because it's a very lengthy rule set. But I've memorized it because I play it very often. you know but yeah, it's kind of a brief walkthrough of kind of what the game entails. But anyway, so let's go through the currency first. So the game starts with each person having a set of 5 fives and 5 ones, and this is the only currency in game. So here's a look of the 5. That's the 5, and that's the 1. So yeah, so original Monopoly has ones, if I'm not wrong, twos, no, ones, fives, tens, 20s, 50s, hundreds, and 500s. And properties can go from anywhere from 40 to purchase to 400, right? And that is the brown property set. That is that 40, it's very low, and 400 is probably something like Boardwalk or Mayfair, depending on which, and it changes from country to country. Like Monopoly, different monopolies have different names for that blue spot, and if you have Monopoly that is themed around a country, it might change accordingly to the locations, right? Point being, in this game, however, it's 2 currencies only. So properties can go from anywhere from 1 to 5, and the rent, as you probably realized, is a lot because of that. for a property that is purchased at 1, the rent itself could just be 1, and that is a lot in this game. Whereas in Monopoly Original, you may not find that to be the case, because you're not really parting away with too much cash for a property that may be 40. So if you land on it, you may be only paying like 12, which is really, really ridiculous, because it takes up to a hotel to get that kind of return on investment. Whereas here, a property that costs like just 1, over time can result in you paying up to 5 back just by owning 2 houses. So the game's stakes is already much higher, and that's why you kind of can go bankrupt much sooner and stuff. But that's not the only thing. But anyway, so this is the official currency of the game, and it comes alongside 2 dice, and they are your standard die, except for the fact that they both have a very cool characteristic. Each of them have this might be misinterpreted as 1, but there is no roll of 1. The number 1 does not exist on this die. However, 2 Eye of Saurons are on each die. 1 on each eye, so 2 total. And these 2 are very tricky. In the sense that they kind of are a very not so good roll, unless you roll double, in which case it just negates the bad outcome. But if you roll one of these with, say, a normal number, then it's a disadvantage, and I'll tell you why that is. So as you might have realized, it does come with the 1 ring. Yep, and this is the actual official 1 ring as you would see in the movies. And it has the writings on it. If you're a fan of Lord of the Rings, you might recognize that it says the 1 ring to rule them all, 1 ring to bind them all, something, and in the fire bind them. I forget the exact kind of whatever it says here in Black Speech, which is what is the language of Mordor, and that is what Sauron has inscribed on this ring. So yeah, if you watch the movie, you'll kind of see that. So what is the significance of this ring? Well, basically, highest roller, as like any other Monopoly, you start by rolling, right? Before you play, you start by rolling the dice and see who gets the highest. And the highest starts the game, but also gets to wear the ring. Now, the ring comes with great advantages, and they are: you don't pay rent if you land on an occupied spot. You don't pay fines on, say, like if you were to land on a spot that tells you to pay a certain amount of fine, you don't have to. If you land on go to jail, you don't have to go to jail. The ring negates all of those things. The only time the ring does not work in your favor is when a card tells you to go to jail, like a community card or a quest or a chance card. We don't have something called community card or chance card. What we have, however, are quest cards. Now I'll get to that in a second. But anyway, the ring has extreme benefits, but it also comes with disadvantages. I will get to the disadvantages in a second, but before that, let me show you what you can build on a property. So this is a fortress. This is the equivalent of a hotel in this game, and this is an outpost. Oh, sorry, that is not visible. This is an outpost, which is an equivalent of a house. So as you might have realized, 4 outposts equal 1 fortress, and the way to build them is the same basic standard rule set as every other Monopoly. You have to build evenly to build more. So if you have if you have a set of 2 properties that belong to a set, browns have 2, blues have 3, right? So let's say you own both the browns. Now you can start building. So if you put 1 house here, you can't put you can't put another house here unless there's 1 more here. So 1 1 2 2 3 3 4 4, fortress. That's how it goes. And yeah, okay. So before kind of ranting, well, I am terribly sorry, but they do say the ring has a will of its own. So maybe Sauron made it jump out of my hands. I'm so sorry, guys. I hope that did not wake any of you up. Before I get to the board and show you what's on it, let me show you some cool trinkets. So, of course, when you play, you pick a token to play with, right? Like a character thingy. I don't know what you call them, but like, in regular Monopoly, you have a car, a boat, and stuff. In this, you have the official fellowship. As you can tell, Gandalf, Frodo, that's Legolas, Gimli, Merry, Pippin, I don't know who's who. I think that's I mean, either one of them is Merry and Pippin. That's probably Boromir. Um, that's Samwise Gamgee. This is the horse that they had, and I forget the horse's name. And this is Aragorn. Yeah, and that's the Eye of Sauron. And that's also, I think, Barad-dûr. And that's the end location of the movie and the game. And you might be thinking, how is that? But we'll get to that in a second. So here we go. This is Gandalf, as you can tell. He's a very cool character. I often play with him. But there's also Samwise Gamgee. He has his pots and his cookware. We also have other characters such as Gimli, for example. And we have all the Fellowship right here. But maybe I'll show them all at a later time, because maybe during the playthrough or something. For now, let's focus on like showing the board and kind of explaining exactly what kind of goes through in the game. So it's a very sleek and very nice board, as you can tell. Let me just open it up for you guys. It's a little tricky for sure to open it up since I'm doing it like this, but maybe I can show half of it first. Okay. I don't know if you can see, but that is Go. That is where we start the game. So this is where the game starts from, right? Okay. Okay, I am holding it opposite, my bad. Okay. So we start here and you move up. So like I said, see the browns, and this is the end location of the game. The end types of cards, the more expensive lot. So we start here at Go, and you move up. So you roll the dice and you move up, and you have Hobbiton, Bree, Weathertop, Ford Brewinian, Rivendell. I actually know most of everything about these property cards. I can walk you through it if you want. This is where the movies start. You have Frodo and Bilbo living here, and then things happen. I think maybe I'll make a video about that separately, but anyway, you start here. These are quest cards, which are the equivalent of both community and chance cards. Ring rates, it says pay 2. That is something like income tax from the Monopoly original. Morgul Blade, and several such weapons. So there's Morgul Blade, there's a bow, there's Sting, which is Frodo's weapon, Sting, and then there's Staff. So those are equivalent to the trains. Remember where there's like four train stations like that, right? So yeah, and yeah, the game continues, and so this is the entire board, as you can see. I'm so sorry, I'm being a bit clumsy, but yeah, you see, that was so the game starts from here, right? I mean, I'm holding it in very many ways at this point, but yeah, so it's right here. You go up, and then you go this way, and then you turn, and you go through the oranges, and then you go past the reds, the yellows, the greens, and then end at the dark blues. Now, that may have been just the way to play, but what's cool about this game is that we have a second secret detail to it, and that detail can be found at the exact center. I think you can see by now this circles, right? Yeah, and you may have guessed correctly by now what those circles might be, but if not, allow me to walk you through it. So this is Mount Doom, and this is also what you're playing. You're playing the game here, but you're also playing the game from this square. I mean, from these circles. You have to reach here, and you begin the game at this point. It's a start, right? So while you're playing from go, you're also playing from here. So like I said, the highest roller has the ring, right? And so what happens is, for example, you have Gimli, right? Now Gimli will wear the ring if he's the highest roller, like so. And at the start of each game, the person who has the ring will start here, and at each of their fresh turn, now what that means is, like, let's say I finished my turn and the other person starting, and they just got the ring, they would move. So before they play their turn, this tracker will move one. And so you might be thinking, what is this 1 million, 2, 4, 8, 16 and Mount Doom? I'll explain that in a second, but this tracker essentially moves up. Now 1 million, 2 million is basically keeping track of how much money you would pay if the ring bearer, which is, for example, Gimli right now, rolls that. And now let's say you roll whatever that you roll. Okay, so now I got a 2, and a Eye of Sauron, and so that means I lose the ring after moving the number that it says. So now let's assume I was at 1 when I had the ring and I rolled the Eye of Sauron. I would say, if I was here, I would move up 1, 2, and then drop the ring. The ring would stay there, and wherever this tracker was at that point in time, I would pay that amount back to the bank. So let's say if it was at 1, I pay 1 million to the bank. And what's scary about that is, you could be right here and you could roll that Eye of Sauron. You would end up paying 16 and then lose a lot of money. But at the same time, whenever someone rolls the Eye of Sauron while having the ring, this tracker resets, goes back to the start, and then whoever picks up the ring next will basically move that. This only moves when a ring is being worn by another player. And so, like I said, let's imagine now Gimli has lost the ring, right? And this is where the ring is now. So what ends up happening is that the ring's just gonna idly be there, unless, of course, someone were to move on it. Now let's say I roll a certain number, say I roll 12. So I would move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, so on. But now that the ring is here, and if I pass through it, or rather if I go past it, or land on the place where the ring is, I have to pick it up. Compulsory. That is like non-negotiable. I have to pick up the ring. And so when I pick up the ring, that's it. Now, even if I have a doubles, and I've got the ring, this doesn't move up. It only moves up on a fresh new turn. So let's say now I have the ring. This is Gandalf, right? And now Gandalf has the ring, right? And he's here. Let's say now it's his turn again. And then what you do is, you take the tracker and then you move it up 1, all right? And then you roll the dice accordingly. And so you keep rolling the dice, and what that means is you can keep rolling the dice while wearing the ring if it's just numbers that you roll. If, however, in any combination of rolls you end up rolling one of these guys, it just means that you would lose the ring after how many ever numbers that you have to move up, and you'll also have to pay a fine of whatever number the tracker is on. So let's say you get lucky and you're still wearing the ring, and you've been able to, at each new turn, just roll numbers. So you would move up. So it would mean 5 fresh turns of just rolling numbers, right? And so by then you would have reached 16. And so now what that means is, you are one step away from Mount Doom, which is also victory. Mount Doom is not only the location which ends up stopping the game, but it's also considered like you won in a sense. Like when you reach here, so let's say this is your 5th turn and you came here, right? And then your turn's over. And then the other person plays. Now, if the other person hasn't claimed the ring somehow from you, and if you have managed to keep the ring for long and now it's your turn, this will just automatically go here, the game ends. and as a reward for reaching so far into the game and finishing on Mount Doom, you get a reward of 15 million, which is 3 of these guys. And then you basically total up your earnings, and then you find out who won. But this essentially stops the game. And so in typical monopolies, the game either ends when you call it quits, or you go bankrupt, right? Or basically that, like something like that. And that's the same case here, except also the fact that playing up till Mount Doom also stops the game. Like, you could be playing just regularly and everything's going fine, and if one of the people who has the rings on them successfully make it up till here, the game ends immediately. No more rolls, nothing. And they get the cash money as a reward for it. And yeah, and that's pretty much the basic point and plot and premise of the game. You play as you would any Monopoly, but with a few extra tips and tricks, you know. And yeah, that's essentially the game. I don't think I've done an excellent job explaining it. I think I could have been a bit more clear, but I think it's just hard to explain when I can't set it up in a way that's easy to draw attention to the specific area and communicate what that area is, because I have to hold it open, right? But I hope you found it interesting. I hope you like board games, and I hope this was sort of enough to inspire you to try it out for yourself if it's ever a thing you're really interested in. Because I personally love Monopoly. I always have this thing that when if I had a lot of money, I would just like splurge on a whole lot of Monopolies. And I know that's really dumb sounding, but I would buy like a gazillion of them. There's so many cool versions. I think there's a Godfather version, and there's like another Lord of the Rings version, and there's like a wooden one which is very fancy, and I've been having my eye on it for a long time, but it's extremely expensive, and I wouldn't even consider buying it anytime soon. You know, not until like I have a whole buttload of money and whatnot. But anyway, yeah, so these are the quest cards. They look like that, and I could read you one of them if you want. Keep this card secret. So there are secret cards as well. Place your hand on a palantir and glimpse the enemy's plan while your company sleep. Cancel a quest card that is played against you. So it comes with a description, and it comes with the actual details of what the quest card entails and allows you to do. And so what a quest card like this means: cancel a quest against another player. What it means is, cancel a quest card that's played against you, right? So now if I have this card and another player uses a quest card on me, like do this, give me your property or something like that. Oh, because that is there in this game, you can steal others' properties using a quest card. You can take all 3 of their property color set or one, and you can exchange forcibly and something like that. And so this card allows you to stop that action if it's played against you. And there's so many other interesting cards as well. Sometimes it's like a fine card, like pay 1 million, or sometimes like collect 1 million, or go to jail, things like that. And here's the stack of property cards. We will be going through that in our playthrough hopefully soon. But that was it, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I hope I didn't ramble on too much about this game and its rules. It was a little hard to explain because there's so much to explain and there's so many things to do, but I hope that didn't overwhelm you. I'm sorry. I'll do a better job explaining it when we do a proper playthrough, but just make sure to just kind of like I don't know, just look at the pretty colors if the information's too much. I'm terribly sorry. Honestly, I think I would be overwhelmed watching my own video explaining this game, but I hope the board looked nice and distracting enough, and but yeah, I'm terribly sorry. I hope you had fun though, and I hope you got to learn something new and about a new Monopoly game. And if you knew about it, let me know in the comments. And if you're gonna think about playing it or purchasing it, let me know. This video isn't sponsored, by the way. This was just for fun. I just wanted to come up and share this with you all. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. And once again, I'm sorry if I was just kind of dumping a lot of information, but I'll get better at it, hopefully. So fingers crossed for the next playthrough. Anyway, see you guys. Thank you for watching. Take care, and good night. Sleep well. Monopoly, Monopoly, Monopoly. I'll catch you very soon in the next video. I guess you can tell I'm a bit all over the place because I've never done a board game breakdown video, but maybe next time I'll get better at it. So yeah, bye guys, take care, good night, bye bye bye.